Okay, a bit late, I know, but here's the hints for homework sheet 6. So question 1, you have to find the equation of the tangent to the circle at the point 93. So we know a tangent is a straight line, so we're looking for the gradient and a point on the line. Now fortunately we're told the point in the question is 93, so all I need is a gradient. What else do I know? Well, from a circle I know that the tangent makes a 90-degree angle with the radius. So to work out the gradient of the line, first thing I'm going to do is work out the gradient of the radius, so m rad. I know the centre, I get that from here. I know the point, so I can work out the gradient of the radius. Then I get the gradient of the tangent, because it's perpendicular. So flip it upside down, change the sign, use that in the formula up here in the y minus b formula. For question 2, if we know that x minus 1 is a factor, then we know that the remainder has got to be 0, because you can't have factors if you've got remainders, so we know the remainder must be 0. So the coefficients, what's in front of the x cubed? 2k. What's in front of the x squared? k. What's in front of the x? Negative 2. What's the number at the end? Negative 1. What number are we putting in at the start? We're putting in a 1. So if you go through your process of add, times, add, times, add, times, add, then you'll end up with a little formula here is equal to 0. And if you solve that formula, you should find that k just comes out to be a nice easy number. Once you've got that easy number, it's just a case of plugging that number back in here. And if you plug it back in here, that'll give you 3 numbers. And why do you need them? Well, we know this is x minus 1, and we know this bit with your 3 numbers makes up the second bracket of so many squareds, so many x's, so many numbers on its own, so that you can now factorise this second thing to get your 3 answers. Please note that we're just factorising, we're not solving. Question 3. So Karen Van Rental is looking after the cars. There's 40% less stock who are being returned. So the amount of stock that's there, so let's use C for cars. So the amount of cars that's there next time is 60% of this time plus the 24 that gets returned. So if you turn that into a recurrence relation, question says that the stock needs to be 50. So if you can work out the limit and then check that number against the 50, you'll know whether the company is going to survive or not. Question 4, y equals f of x add 3. Now add 3 means you move your graph left 3 units. Okay, so that means you take your blue graph and you move it 3 units across. Let's do the second one. Is y equals negative f of x. And you know that negative f of x is where the graph flips upside down. And then the third and final one, y equals 2 minus a half f of x. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to rewrite that as negative a half f of x plus 2. So if I look at what I've actually written there, let's move this up a wee bit. The negative a half means flip it upside down and squash it, or half the y numbers, and then add on 2. So you take your graph, which is like this, we flip it upside down, we squash it, we move it up 2. The second one, question 5, we're looking for real roots. Real roots happen when b squared minus 4ac is bigger than or equal to 0. So what's a? A is the number before x squared. What's b? The number before x. And what's c? Everything else that's left, which I'm going to write as k add 3. So all I've got to do now is plug these various things into that formula. You'll get to a stage where you've got to factorise it, and because it's one of these quadratics, you're going to have to draw the graph and find out whether it is either above or below. Question number 6. Like number 1, find a tangent, so we need a gradient, and we need a point AB. Now the question only tells us the x number. So how do we work out the y number? We just simply put 2 back into that formula, and that should tell you what this number is. Nice and easy. How do we find the gradient? First of all, we do dy by dx. Now before we do that, we need to turn this question into 2 fractions. So write it as 3x squared over x cubed minus 4x over x cubed, which becomes 3. Now you can remember, I hope, from your work with indices, that when you divide, you subtract the powers here. So that means 3x to the negative 1. Then you do something similar for this one. Tidy it all up, and then you're at the differentiation stage. Okay, once you've got your differentiation stage, next thing you do is you put 2 into that formula. That tells you what your m is, and because you know what your AB are, we can use all of that in the formula mx minus a. And that's us.